Happy New Year, Ranger Nation, and with this new year, get you a brand new Ranger year in review. That is right, I am going to go over the stuff I do for the Ranger Week in Review, except we're going to talk about the entire year of what has happened in Power Rangers. I guess we have a lot to talk about. Let's get through it quickly. The Ranger year in review starts right now. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Ranger Liz. Welcome to the Ranger year in review. We're going to go over everything that has happened in 2017 in the world of Power Rangers. If this interests you on a slightly shorter basis, I also do the Ranger Week in Review, which goes over everything that has happened in the world of Power Rangers, Kamen Rider, and Super Sentai over the last week. Let's get started where we normally get started. That is Ninja Steel. Hey, Ninja Steel happened this year. Over the course of the year, we had the show debut, have a very long hiatus, and come back, and we also, they got to meet Fresno Bob Santa. They had a really, actually good Halloween clip show. We had at least, what, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, wait, 8, 9 new Rangers added to the list of the Great Rangers. Potential cameos with Princess Fiera coming back next year, maybe. High hopes, guys. New season next year. We'll go over that. If you'd like to hear more of my thoughts about Ninja Steel, they were unfortunately in the worst of 2017 list. We were introduced to some other lovely characters like Mechanic and Preston, TN. There were some good things about Ninja Steel. 5 to 6 high schoolers balancing saving the universe and protecting the Ninja Steel from Galvanex at all costs. Their hidden base is located in the shop room. There is definitely school stuff going on. There's definitely bullies, which you may or may not like with Victor and Monty. But it was a season. The first half of it is actually already on Netflix. So if you would like to get completely caught up to, I guess, what Netflix has before they put the rest of it on, you know what I mean. Check it out on Netflix, and you can get going on the first, I believe, 8 episodes of Ninja Steel. There were 22 episodes total. The next season should be starting, usually in January or February or so. Also, in January, we may be hearing what the next season of Power Rangers themselves, or itself, is going to be. I believe it was around January 9th. We got Ninja Steel back 2 years ago whenever it was released, so hopefully keep an eye out in the next month or 2. We'll be able to find out whether or not they will be adapting Zyuohger or Q Ranger. Q Ranger is just getting ready to wrap up. They should have at least had a decent look at where it was going to know. There's a good chance it might actually be Q Ranger due to the comic book header and everything else, but it could be Zyuohger. I don't know. I like Zyuohger. I like the cubes. What do you do? I guess what you do is you move on to the next thing, and that's just Ranger news in general, I suppose. I mentioned in my best of that Peter Sudarso is probably having one of the best Ranger years ever in 2017, but we did get a lot of other things as far as Rangers are concerned. We unfortunately had murder attempts. We had a murder. We had cast members getting together for the movie. Lots of con appearances. Rangers themselves getting together potentially for the Ninja Steel 25th anniversary, Super Ninja Steel 25th anniversary episode, where there should be a lot of cameos coming back to the people, you know, that went to New Zealand. Just saying, maybe we'll get some more. I am going to give this positive. I'm gonna go back to being just a positive Ranger year in review, and yes, I'm gonna miss a lot of stuff. In fact, I'm kind of just sugarcoating and going over lightly the entire year, because if I talk 15 minutes about every week, you can't do it for the entire year. You could, but you'd be here until next Friday. So, let's go ahead and move on to something that last year, or maybe the year before, we couldn't say. Movie news! Movie news. Guys, we had a movie. The year of 2017 overall was a very, very good year to be a Power Ranger fan show, and maybe some toys excluded. We have had a very great year as Power Ranger fans, and the movie, to me, was a very large part of it. It was on my top 5. Just saying, if you want to see, go watch the video. The movie came out, it brought so much hype, so much love and optimism to the Ranger fandom. We had something on the big screen. When's the last time you got to go to the movie and watch a Power Ranger movie? I mean, I got to as a kid, but I mean, if you got into Power Rangers after Turbo, this was a brand new experience for you, and it was the first experience for me since when I was like, what? Like, I wasn't 8. I mean, hey, I got a beer at the movie theater. I gotta go. Thankfully, the movie, it was released on a Friday, so Thursday, I did get to see it Wednesday, which was super cool. I won the opportunity along with this shirt. I just smile. I enjoyed it. It made this year fantastic. They didn't recreate the wheel, okay? They didn't just try to be the blanket characters we knew before. They gave them their own stories, their own personality, their own issues to deal with. It made it much more grounded in now and what teenagers and kids are going through. Movie, you're fantastic. If you haven't seen the movie yet, why? At least watch it once. I mean, even if you hate it, you just gotta watch it once. That was the movie. What else did we have in 2017? Oh yeah, Boom Studios Comics. Power Rangers in the comic form had a fantastic year. We had not only Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which had at the very end of 2016, Lord Draken was inserted in the comics. I'm not really working right now. Lord Draken was introduced in the comics, which was the word I was trying to think of before, at the end. So in 2017, we got to learn a lot more about Lord Draken and everything that goes in it. Let's see, the Pink Ranger had her own little mini-series come out. I believe that's 5 or 6 episodes. Power Rangers had a comic team up with the Justice League. Come on guys. If you're questioning any of this, ask yourself 3 years ago when we were getting the really subpar comics about Megaforce and whatever that I couldn't even get through. Ask yourself, dude, you know Power Rangers gonna have a legit team up with Justice League? In fact, not only is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers joining up, the Pink Ranger's gonna have her own series, and they're gonna release another comic book called Go-Go Power Rangers, which just had its 5th episode come out in December. And by episode, I clearly mean issue. Boom Studios is going to be giving us Shattered Grid next year, which is going to be, I'm so hyped for it. It is going to be a giant battle, bringing back a lot of previous Rangers. And if they hold true to what they've done for the rest of the series that they've been doing, I have complete faith in them. Thank you, Boom Studios. Boom Studios, the comics, guys, in store, online, single issue, or anthologies. If you like the show at all, give it a shot. I really think just give it a shot. You might actually like it. You might like it just a little. Let's go on to another thing that happened this year. Something that was launched. We had so many new things. New things to talk about. When I started the Ranger Week in Review, there was the show and there's whatever when I first started wanting to do it. Since then, in this year, we've had tons of new comic book stuff. We've had Hyperforce. Hyperforce has come out, which has given us a fantastic opportunity to get to know Rangers on a different level. By a different level, I mean Rangers from all walks of life, pretending while sitting in a chair, and you use your imagination. Let's see if I remember right there to put the Tokuger guy. I don't know. Maybe it'll be SpongeBob. We'll see. Maybe I'll leave it blank. We had Hyperforce. Peter Cereso is another Ranger. Farkas Bulkmeyer, Mr. Paul Schreier, is now a Ranger. We had voice actors. We had YouTube people who love the series, who love Power Rangers, who are doing it so much justice. Malika, the GM, does a lot of research to make sure that these are correct. They have someone from Saban Brands present to make sure what they do and what they present stays true to Power Rangers. I get the Hyperforce is not everyone's cup of tea. There's 5 Rangers. Not usually, but every 2 or 3 episodes, I should say, they will have a guest star. And that guest star has something to do with pertaining to where they are. See, when they first started their Time Force, they are Time Force cadets, after all, and Time Force Rangers, they were in the Time Force era. Meaning, they had Jen Scott, who was their professor a lot of crap hit the fan. They went back, went to Angel Grove. Karen Ashley was a guest star for that one, being Aisha. That was pretty fun. We met Candy Cornelius. They learned all about Halloween. And another guest star, Mr. Mike Jin. BT Dubs, got to meet him this year. He's really nice. He's really nice. Go meet him. Mike Jin guest starred when they went to the Dome City of Corinth. One of my personal favorite episodes. Even if you haven't watched anything of the show, seriously, just watch the Mike Jin episode. It is so ludicrous, insane, boom time, silly, funny, and yet at the same time, it was just a great episode. And it's starting next year, Mr. Jason David Frank is going to be the first guest of 2018 on January 2nd. Blah, 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 watch Hyperforce. That's the moral of the story. That launched, and it's going to be 25 episodes. I believe it's been 8 episodes so far that they have had. We still have a lot of Hyperforce ready to go in 2018, so be excited for it. Twitch.tv/HyperRPG, HYPERRPG. Check them out. It is on Tuesday nights. You'll see me in the chat room, and if you don't see me chatting in the chat room, see me anything on Twitter, because I'm watching and probably sending memes and whatnot. Another thing, not just Hyperforce, that came out this year, also in March, not just the movie, we had Legacy Wars launch. Legacy Wars! What? Legacy Wars is great. I play Legacy Wars now for how long? I kept saying, oh, I should play, and I finally bit the bullet. I play Legacy Wars. I'm terrible at Legacy Wars. If I ever do a live stream, you'll just be like, wow, this girl is terrible. But I enjoy it. Still have a lot of fun. You get to celebrate and use characters that aren't just Mighty Morphin. And in fact, my main right now is either Kat from Zeo or Udana, because I love Udana. I love Udana, by the way. I need Udana merchandise. But she's one of my favorite, and she's also a really awesome character. They have, since they have come out with the game, they have expanded with numerous other characters, more levels, more abilities, lots of balance changes to make it even for everyone, and they have introduced Megazord fights, which is actually going on right now, which I really want to be doing a little later. Legacy Wars, thank you so much. They've been a sponsor of Hyperforce, which they've been giving away codes and everything. Peter Sidarso's a show called Destroying Sidarso's Legacy, which is celebrating Legacy Wars, where you yourself just watch the stream, look at the code, boom, you might be able to play against him and on the stream. It's a lot of fun. That is on Friday nights. If you can ever make it, follow his Twitter and his social media, and also HyperRPG himself. It's weird. It's the Ranger year in review. There's so much to go over that I feel like I am just skimming the surface of everything, and that's all we have time for. So, is it time for Hyperforce? No, it's time for the next category. The next category is merch. I don't know. This was the year we had, and a lot of some of the stuff was pre-order, so it's not even going to come out until next year. We had like $850 Mighty Morphin Red busts. We also had a lot of minifigures. We've had, if it tells you the status of the toy line, I think movie figures for Pink and Alpha might be the only thing I bought this year as far as directly the merch line is concerned. We had some really cool things like the mini plot came out, the Legacy line, and I give the Legacy figures. Every Ranger ever. I don't know, I would say eat a shoe if they actually make every Ranger ever, but you know what, by the time they finally get to it, let me know. I'll find a shoe made of gummies or something. We did have some cool toys. We had the red helmet come out, the movie helmet come out. There's a lot of merch for the movie to come out. But overall, I don't think the merch this year is quite up to par. I know some people were upset about the Zords themselves. I know with Dino Charge, a lot of them you could buy the secondary Zords by themselves. Eventually there was like a 4-pack with them. But for a lot of these UFO Zord, Elephant Zord, I'm sorry, I don't remember the exact names, you have to buy the full Megazord with them. Some collectors weren't really happy with them. The role-playing items for Ninja Steel, in my opinion, are just dollar store knockoffs. Overall, not a great year for merch, but we of course did get some cool things. If you're a fan of Tommy, he got some pops. The Dragon Zord got some pops way back New York Comic Con. Remember that? Like back in September or something. The comic book still goes, so if you want to call it merch in the comic book line, you can get all the pretty covers, but merch, I think there's more controversy and more not good stuff than good, which overshadowed everything this year, be it distribution issues, paint issues, case assortments. I mean, it's maybe not fantastic, but New Year comes out. Super Ninja Steel toys are already starting to hit the shelves, so if they're interested in anything, go ahead and take a look now. More will be rolling out, including Hyperforce Red versus Sledge figure, as long as none of those are being canceled. There's 2 guys in it. I think it should be fine. I think it should be fine. There's no female figures. There's a female figure, either it won't get made or it'll sit on the shelf. Pot, kettle, black, whatever. Let's just move on from that depressing thing. Oh, am I too sad today? Am I too sad? I don't know, maybe. Let's get away from merch news. Let's talk about con news. Cons this year, we had Ranger Stop, which happens in Florida in November. There was no Power Morphicon this year. New York Comic Con did give us a lot of awesome stuff. San Diego Comic Con had a lot of movie things in it. Perhaps one of the best things about cons in 2017 was that Morphicon 2018 has been announced. Hashtag sponsor me. Hashtag I need Patreon. I want to go so bad. Morphicon's coming next year. Guests are starting to be announced. Guests are starting to be announced for cons that are coming up in 2018. Keep in mind, next year there are going to be some big cons, of course. At least the 3 that you should keep in mind at this point that I at least know about. Morphicon is coming up. That will be in August, I believe. Oh no, don't shoot me if I'm really wrong and it's not August. I'll put it right here. Morphicon is coming up. Ranger Stop always comes up in November, and LexCon is coming up in March of this year, and they have Rico, Amy Jo, and Catherine. Three of these Rangers right here, albeit Japan and US, are going to be at LexCon. I am super excited for LexCon. I'm almost positive I'm going, and I hope to meet you there. Gonna sell a kidney to get to Power Morphicon. If I'm there, meet me and give me lots of fluids. And I really don't think I'm gonna make it to Ranger Stop, but hey, if I'm there, maybe you've kidnapped me. Nah, that's enough of con stuff. Let's just move on. Next thing we normally talk about in the Ranger Week in Review is podcasts of anything else that have come out. I'll just say this for the year in review, podcasts are still rolling strong, regardless of the situation of the franchise, the thoughts of everything that is going on. You know, good or bad, you're gonna get a podcast. Shout out to everyone, and this, I guess, you know, not just podcasts, YouTube creators, content creators, website people who buy the toys to take pictures of them, to show them to everyone. I just want to say thank you so much. I can only get so much info off of Twitter. I tell you guys all the time in my stuff. Check out the links below where I get my information from. And if it wasn't for sites like Power Ranger Now, Toku Nation, RangerBoard.com, I would definitely miss out on a lot of information. Podcasts, I mean, Ranger Command Power Hour. I got you, Trekkie. The grid, the morphing grid. There's a lot of stuff. If you have a podcast that I've never mentioned before on this show, and it is Ranger related, come on, it's got at least Ranger related, Sentai, Toku, whatever, let me know, please, leave me a comment. I would love to mention your stuff in the Ranger Week in Review going forward in 2018. The more Ranger love I can give, the better. Then that would get us to Toku news, which I'm not going to cover because this is the Ranger Week in Review, but I'm only going to do Ranger stuff. Anything on Sentai stuff, build started this year. We have Key Ranger ending and Lupin Ranger versus Pato Ranger. I have a bunch of stuff about that. Super interested in any upcoming news about Lupin Ranger versus Pato Ranger. Please check out my previous videos that I just put out a few days ago going over all the new scans. This was a very, very shallow, light way of saying this is all the stuff that's happened this year in the world of Power Rangers. My name is Ranger Liz. Thank you so, so much for watching this episode and any other episodes for the year. I super appreciate it. Have a fantastic 2018, Ranger Nation. And I hope to actually meet you guys and see you guys at some events. For the Ranger Year in Review, my name is Liz. Have a great year, guys.